All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another weekly setups. Right, so last week I did not show up because I was trying to recover, right? But this week I'm back, and there are a few things I learned this week. I think during the course of this weekly setups, I'll just chip them in and let you guys know what they are. Right, very important. So let us see what we have for this week. Let us break down the market. Okay, let's start breaking down the pairs. As usual, we delete everything, right? Um, I don't know whether you guys know this guy. His name is Ways Up, right? His name is Ways Up. See, this is one of the things. I don't know if you guys are, if there are more Nigerian traders here or not, but you see this particular guy. This was his picture before. This is his picture before. This is where he used to live. You understand? This is where he used to live. We used to call him trenches trader or something of that nature. But now I don't know. I don't want to know how what and what, but he's a forex trader too as well, and see what he bought, right? So I don't know for you, but guy, there's no giving up here. Oh. There's no giving up here at all. Secondly, there's another thing I was running test on. I don't know whether you guys know Ali Trades. Okay, this is him right here. I don't know if you guys know this guy, Ali Trades. So if you look over here, you can notice that I've watched some few videos. I'm just like trying to. I'm not learning a new strategy. I'm just trying to like understand fundamentals, like after news. Do you understand what I mean? What I mean is, usually if you're trading fundamentals or NFP or something, you are predicting what the forecast. I mean, you are predicting what the actual results will be, right? The only information you have is about the forecast. But if, as I watched some of Ali's video, he's really using the forecast and the actual to actually make a trade. Do you know what I mean? So I'm learning fundamentals a little from this guy because that's the one that makes sense somehow to me. I'll just update you guys on what it is, right? But for now, let's just break down the 20 pairs that we have for this week, right? So the very first pair on our watch list right here, USD card. You can see weekly time frame is clearly bullish, right? Higher high, higher low, right? Um Also, what one thing I noticed was that one thing I'm noticing is that weekly is having a doji. So that means that this last week did not really move so much on the weekly time frame. So that means I don't know, price is stalling around here now. Now what does that signify? After a doji, basically doji appears on highs, and what do you usually expect? Reversals, right? So already from the weekly time frame, I can already sense a counter trend trade, but that's if you are going to get it, right? So that is that for weekly. Daily, let us see. Now daily, as you can clearly see, is the same stalling. As you can clearly see, the price is stalling. But what is the market structure doing? Market structure is actually bullish because this is the higher high, and let's call this the higher low, right? So daily is also bullish. So we have two time frame in one direction, bullish, but we are also tilting towards selling this market. So it might be a very close one. I'll decide on how I'll enter if I'm actually running the counter trend trade setup. So that is that for daily. 4 hour time frame. Okay, 4 hour time frame. The time frame is currently still bullish. So we can't really even take the counter trend trade setup simply because the time frame is still bullish. For us to be selling, we need break and retest under this low right here. So I'm not really interested in selling this market, right? Just because I'm not confident, since all the time frames, all the higher time frames are telling me bullish, right? So that is that for US USD card. So I'm not trading USD card this week. Let us see what we have on gold before we continue. Let's see what we have on gold. So gold again, I've been running a little bit of test here. I'm sure we took this trade, right? Last upper week. Let's check. I think I took this trade. Yes, I took this trade. So that is that for gold. This was another entry, but I did not take this trade actually. I think this one was actually last week, or was it? I just remember I did not take this trade because I actually missed the trade. I started seeing the trade around this level right here, which means the entry was supposed to be here, but price was not really at the entry. So technically it was a missed trade, but I just wanted to see if he actually gets to 1:2, which he actually did, right? In fact, he actually went for a little bit more than 1:2, 1:2.3 or thereabout. So I'll just, that is that. Let us see what we have right now. Let us see what we have right now. Okay, so we delete everything. Let's just delete everything. Daily time frame doesn't really matter much, but we have been pumping, but the overall structure is still bearish, right? So this is clearly the lowest points, lower low, right? And this is clearly the lower high right here. So price is still in this range. It's a very tight one, but price is still in that range. So let's go to the 4 hour. I want to see what we have. 4 hour, to the best of my knowledge, this market is now bullish, right? 4 hour is bullish, right? Okay. Now let's go over to the 1 hour. 1 hour is also bullish. So it just simply makes sense to actually be buying from a bullish market where we have a clean break, retest, engulfing to buy. Break, retest, engulfing to buy. It's the same thing. This is pretty much the retest and engulfing to buy. But I feel like this is a resistance area right now. So buying really from here will not make much sense, right? I don't know. I don't really have a very clear bias on gold right now. So I'll just simply be going over to the next pair, right? Because daily time frame is telling me that it could potentially start selling from here, but immediate time frame like the 1 hour is telling me that it will just continue buying. So I'm not really interested in that one right now. GPBUSD next pair. Okay, now this is a counter trend trade setup. I was already looking at this particular pair before I actually pressed record. So let me just give you an idea of what I was actually looking at. Let's go over to the weekly time frame first. So weekly time frame, if you look at this market structure very clearly. First, let's delete everything so that we can just draw everything together. Now, what do you notice on the weekly time frame is that the weekly time frame seems to be at a resistance level of which we will draw right now, clearly. So at these highs, price is currently at that level right now, as you can clearly see, right? That's one information. But the second information we have is that price is actually bullish on the weekly time frame. But if you look at the last week, it was actually a doji, which shows what the price is actually reacting from this area of resistance that we just simply drew, right? That's that. So that is the weekly time frame first. Now, daily time frame. If you look at the daily time frame, it's also bullish, but you can clearly see we have an engulfing, which engulfs 2 days of two candles basically, right? So that is 2 days, right? One candle engulfs 2 days. So let's just say Monday, or let's just say Wednesday candle engulf Tuesday and Monday candle. Do you understand? Then we try to retest that area again. We had a doji rejection, right? We have a doji, that is a rejection candlestick, and then we have another engulfing. So that is two rejections, clear rejection, reversal candlestick patterns from the daily time frame. Are you with me? So that's one information that the daily time frame is giving us. You can clearly see that the area of interest we are using is not necessarily an area of interest. We'll just call it a resistance level, right? Resistance level. So now from this high, you see this is the highest point above the area of interest, right? You see this high. This is actually the highest point above this area of interest. There's no other price action above this orange line, right? So now if I go over to the left, how far did that line actually go, right? How far will I go back before we start having price action above this orange line, right? You can clearly see I'm not seeing any price action until we get to this level, which is in 2015. So let me show you guys. So this is exactly where we had the last price action above that orange line, which is around here, right? So which means this is now the highest point that price has been, right? So let me show you guys. This is now the highest point. So I'm just taking my time to break down these things so that you really understand the reason for this counter trend trade setup, right? So these 2 points, this is the highest recent price that price has ever gone, and price has not really broken above this level for the past for how long? Let's just go to the weekly so that we can just simply know exactly how long. So from here, price has not really traded to that area for 3,822 days, right? So if I put my stop loss there and price actually gets there, won't it be surprising? Because price has not gone there for the past 3,000 days, and we are having rejections right now. I feel like it just makes more sense that since we came to around that area, we sold. We came to that area again, we sold. We came to that area again, we sold. We came to that area again, we sold. Now price is around that area, and we're having rejections. I feel like it just makes sense that we should be selling, because where our stop loss would be, price has pretty much never gone to that area, right? The last time price was at this high, actually, which was the most recent high, is actually about 224 days. Price has not gone there before again. So that for the what? For the daily time frame. Now I also noticed something on the daily. Let me show you guys again. Okay, was it the daily? Let's check the 4 hour. Okay, now let's go over to the 4 hour. Just look at this. We have some kind of a trend line right here. Let's draw it. So we have a trend line right here too, right? So it just makes sense that we should be below this trend line. Now, if we are below this trend line, what does that show? It shows that this EMA2 as well will start shifting structure bearish. So if price start trading below this area, this EMA, right, and we are now trading below this trend line, we'll simply look for our entry here and put our stop loss here, right? Put our stop loss where price has not gone to for the past 200 days, or even for the past 3,000 days. You understand? Then we target lower targets, right? But we need at least one of the time frame, which is at least the 4 hour time frame, to actually be bearish, because most of the time frames are actually bullish. So that's why I'm still calling it a counter trend trade setup, right? So I'm very interested in this counter trade setup. Now I just need to explain something too as well, right? This trade might not be the trade that in the next 2 days or thereabouts you start closing your profits. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen, right? Based on what I've seen from the price action. Now look at this. Let me explain what I mean. From this market structure right now, where are the likely take profit targets? This is number one take profit target, and this is number two take profit target. Actually, this should be the take profit target, but there's a lot of support and resistance level right here. So I'll just simply call this the number one, right? So to get to number one take profit target, how long the price actually from this orange line to where current market price is, how long did it take? It took price about 8 days, right? 8 days, 9 days. So first of all, assuming that we're going to have the exact same momentum, we should start thinking about holding this trade for 9 days, right? For the second take profit target, how long did price take from here to current market price? It took price about 31 days. So if you're looking for the final take profit target, which might potentially actually even give, let's see, how many risk reward ratio. Let's say we are entering around here and stop loss is around here, which is a very big trade, by the way. Nah, it's not worth it. That's 1 day, no. But if you have the entry, let's say our stop loss around here, and we're actually targeting this one right here, it's not even worth it. Anyway, we'll know. It depends on how market delivers, sha. Kai. So it really just depends on how market opens, right? Or how market deliver before we can actually enter this market. So, but I'm looking for a counter trend trade setup on this market, right? So I just need a clean break and retest under this level to be interested. Clean break, retest, and engulfing to be interested in selling this market. So that is that for GPBUSD. I'll be adding it for this week, but it depends on how market plays out before I will know if I'm going to actually be entering that market. Next pair, Euro NZD. Okay, Euro NZD. Weekly time frame is bullish. Weekly time frame is bullish. Daily time frame is also bullish. Right? It's also bullish. So let's just look for an area of interest before we go over to the 4 hour time frame. I think we should use this one. Not a very clean one, but that is the valid area of interest that we have. Okay, so that's the area of interest we have on the daily. Daily is also bullish. Now, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is actually still bearish, right? So we can't um we need price to actually get back to area of interest first before we actually start looking for reasons to buy. So for now, we'll still sit on our hands and wait. So that is that for Euro NZD. I'm not really adding it for this week. Euro USD. Let's see is our next pair. Okay, so Euro USD is good for sales. Let's see. Weekly time frame is bearish. Daily time frame also bearish. As you can see, this will be the. Let me remove this. This will be the lower low, as you can see, and this will be the lower high in this case. We are currently at area of interest right now, right? Now, 4 hour time frame is currently, let's just call it bullish. So it's currently bullish. So we wait for 4 hour to actually shift bearish, which means we'll be waiting for a break and retest under this low to be interested in selling, right? So that will be my game plan for Euro USD. I'm adding it for this week. CAD JPY daily time frame. Let's go to daily. Let's delete everything we have. Let's go over to weekly first. Weekly time frame. Okay, we have just an area right here of which price have rejected, and the market structure is actually bearish. So weekly is bearish, right? Okay, let's go over to daily. Daily. Okay, that area of interest. That area of interest is both weekly and daily area of interest, which is very good. And daily time frame is currently bearish. Okay, so we have weekly and daily bearish so far. Now let's go over to 4 hour. 4 hour time frame is also bearish, right? We just need clean break and retest to just continue selling basically, right, on this market. So it depends on how we are going to get to the break and retest, because right now we have had this break. The retracement is not deep enough. I will not be interested in selling from this engulfing, right? So if price is actually coming up, then we need a new break and retest. But if price is going down, then we need a break and retest below this area to sell. So I'll update you guys on the Telegram on exactly how I'm going to play this market. But the um, directional bias for this market is actually to sell, right? So I'm adding this pair for this week. Let's see where our potential take profit could look like. I mean, could be. So our potential take profit target will be this one right here. And I don't know if it's even worth it, right? It looks very close to. Let me check. So assuming we have. I don't know. It depends on when we get the opportunity. Then we'll know if this market is actually worth it or not, right? But for now, I feel like the final take profit target is way too close. I'll keep it on the sidelines. I don't have to add it for this week. Keep it on the sidelines. Okay, next pair we have Euro AUD. Okay, let's delete everything. Okay, so Euro AUD weekly time frame is bearish. We have some form of a very strong weekly high. I'm just drawing it. It's not really valid for now until price gets to that level. Daily time frame. So it means we'll be working with price action that is within this level right now, right? So daily time frame. Let's see. Okay, so daily time frame, in my opinion, this is currently bullish, right? So daily time frame is actually bullish right now. But which area of interest are we going to use? I think I remember calling for buyers around this level, somewhere around this level, which technically is buying, but the final take profit target is this level, which is, I remember there was a high right here, right? So this is actually supposed to be the final take profit target, and price have not gotten there. So we can still get opportunities to get there, right? So let's see the 4 hour time frame. Maybe we can look for a 4 hour area of interest. It's not clean. Very confusing. Very confusing. By the way, the 4 hour already looks bearish. We have like a left head, right shoulder, potential break and retest to continue selling. So I don't know. I'm not feeling confident in that in Euro EUD. So that's the reason I'll not be adding it for this week. GPP USD next pair. Let's see. Looks like we're calling these sales, and it happened right here. All right. Let's see what we have right now. Let's start with the weekly. Okay. Okay. Very good. Now, weekly time frame is bearish, right? Bearish, and we are reacting from um a support and resistance level right here. Let me just draw it. This one right here. Okay. So this is like a weekly area of interest. Let me show you guys. Let me put this demonstration tool to show you guys. So this right here, you saw that we had a rejection right here. We had a break above this area and we bounced off of this area again. So we had a rejection from this area. On the weekly, also third rejection, fourth rejection, and a fifth rejection. So now this shows me that what? That there's a strong area around that level, right? There's a strong area around that level. Let's go to the daily. It will be cleaner, it will be way more cleaner on the daily. So as you can clearly see on the daily, you already have 1, 2 rejections, 3 rejection, 4 rejection from this area, 5 rejection. Very clear as you can clearly see. 6 rejection and thereabouts. So very strong area of interest, right? Very strong area of interest. Now, what are we also seeing? EMA is above this area, right? Which shows that the momentum is to the downside. But now I'm also seeing something different. Let me know what you are seeing. Um, Let me know if you can spot it. I'll give you guys one less than 2 seconds if you can spot it. What is making me not enter this trade right now or not add this trade for this week right now? If you get it, let me know in the comment section. Now let me tell you exactly what it is. So this is a bearish market, but coming back to the area of interest is a bullish market because this was the lower low and this was the lower high. This right here, this market structure right here actually broke above this high, making this the new higher high and this the new higher low, right? So we cannot really sell this market simply because weekly is bearish, but the daily is bullish, and I'm sure that the 4 hour will also be bullish, right? So we don't have two time frame in sync. That's the reason we'll not be paying attention to this market. It's unfortunate, by the way. So that's that for GPUSD. Next pair we have NZD Let's see, weekly time frame. Okay, first of all, I don't really like the weekly time frame. Uh, okay, but we have some form of a high right here, weekly high. Okay, so I'll just draw it first. Let's go to the daily to be way more cleaner on the daily. Very similar. I think it's very similar to GBP right? So daily, sorry, it's weekly bearish. Weekly bearish. Weekly is bearish. 4 hour is daily is also bearish, right? So that's good. Um, Strong area of interest we have. And now let's go over to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame now. 4 hour time frame is also bearish, right? Overall bearish. But we are still going all the way to area of interest. So we still need price to actually reach area of interest. So I need something like this. For this, I need it to be more, by the way. I need it to be more. So that we will now start having shift of structure head and shoulder pattern around this level. And then we have clean break and retest like this to enter. Right. I actually need it to be like this. I need it to be like a rounding top. Right? Because that will give the EMA enough time to actually start shifting structure bearish right here, which is where we'll start having the price action under EMA, right? We have shift of structures and we have the rejection from the area of interest. So that will be a little bit more confluence than actually just price get than actually just waiting for price to just get back into here and start selling immediately. Right. I don't think that's actually going to happen. Right. So this is exactly what I want to see before I enter this market. So until price does that, before I'll actually be paying attention to this market. So that is that for NZD card. Um next pair. Next pair we have okay. I don't know. I can barely see any good markets this week. I wonder if there was good market last week. I was not really active on the market. Um, I'm not interested in NZD card. Next pair, NZD JPY. Let's see. Okay. So weekly time frame is bearish. Okay. So weekly time frame is bearish, right? Daily time frame is also bearish, right? As can clearly tell, this is the lower low and this is the lower high, right? So let's see the entire market structure. And we have a strong area of interest, as you can see. So we have multiple rejection from this area. EMA is above, clearly showing that there's a momentum to the downside instead, right? Okay, now let's go over to 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hour time frame is very 4 hour time frame is actually very indecisive, right? I don't even know how to enter on this market. The market structure is not clean. It's not having clean break retest engulfing to sell. It's not clean the way I like it. So, but overall, I actually do believe that this market should be selling, right? But I don't know how to enter. So that's I don't know. I'm not adding it for this week because I just don't know how to enter. Euro GPP. It's like we're not getting good market this week. I'm not even sure what happened. Okay, I remember taking this trade. So this was one of the three trades I called. So I called gold. I called USD card. No, no, not part of those trades I'm talking about. It's these trades I'm talking about. Gold right here, Euro GBP, which is this one right here, and one more trade. I think was USD card actually. I remember that one getting to final take profit. Yes, so that is that USD card right here. So out of the three, I won two, and then I lost this one, and this one was very close to take profit, but it reversed, right? So shit happens. So as you can see, my alert never actually got hit. So now let us see what we have on this market. Weekly time frame. Ooh, all right. Now market structure is actually clearly bearish. So that's one thing I like with the strategy. If you are wrong, you are totally wrong, right? So let me remove this. Let me remove this alert. Okay, so this is a weekly zone that is clearly visible on the weekly time frame. So we'll go over to the daily time frame. By the way, weekly is what bearish. So weekly is bearish. Daily time frame is also bearish. Wow, very clean, very clean. You can see the rejections from the area of interest. Very clean, right? Now daily is also bearish. It's very simple. What I'll be looking for a retracement back into somewhere around this level to continue selling. Now I just don't know if it's going to happen this week. You see, that's the problem because this right here is 5 candles. So that is already Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's already 1 week. So for us to really have the entire retracement, which might still take around 5 candles, rejections from that area, which might take 2 candles, and then like another full move to the downside, it's not going to happen in 1 week. You understand what I mean? That's what I mean by it's not going to happen in this week. But I do believe you should have a retracement back into this area to continue selling. The 4 hour time frame is also bearish, right? As a matter of fact, I actually believe that this market has the potential to continue going to the downside, right? I don't think that retracement is really going to be happening right now. But if you get that retracement, then we'll be interested in actually selling this market. So, Euro GBP, I don't know. Should I bring it close? Let's just bring it close. GBP AED next pair. Okay, so let's delete what we have and see a cleaner perspective. Weekly time frame. Okay, the target for the weekly time frame has already been hit. I remember calling this counter trade buys from here to target this high, right? Which is the final take profit target. The final take profit target has already been hit, so we can't really do much until price start breaking structures to the upside. Once the price breaks this high, we can't really do much on this market. So this is the high I'm referring to. So this particular high, we can't really do much until price start breaking above this high. Then maybe we'll start. Then maybe we'll continue buying over to the upside to somewhere around here next, right? To somewhere around here next. Here, this level right here. Let me just draw it. This level right here. So if you can break above this high, we will continue buying all the way to this high. So, but for now, I'm not interested, right? I'm not interested. Euro JPY. Okay, let's delete what we have. See cleaner perspective. Daily time frame. For now, I don't think there's anything I have to do on the daily time frame. To be honest, like look at this market structure. From here to here, from here to here, price has pretty much been consolidating. Seriously, what is price doing? This market is not a trending market. Again, I keep telling you guys, this strategy just simply works on a market that is trending. It's moving over to one direction with momentum. Right? This right here, dude, I'm not really going to be forcing anything if I cannot see it. From the EMA, you can just see how very flat the EMA is. So I'm not interested in this kind of market. Right? I'm not interested. So that is that for Euro JPY. AUD USD. Okay, looks like AUD USD, we are calling for sales. As you can see, this one right here. And he sold all the way to final take profit targets, just as predicted, right? It's my fault for not showing up last week. If not, I would have simply caught this one. But let us see what we have. But price is currently at the final take profit targets. I don't think there's anything much for us to do on this market, right? I just remember calling these sales to the downside, but I was not really active on the market last week. So I don't think there's anything much for us to do. Or let's just delete everything that we have and see. But if price is coming from all the way from final take profit targets, I don't think there's anything much for us to do until price start breaking those levels or creating new structures, right? So daily time frame is still bearish. Weekly time frame is I don't know, is it bullish or bearish? It depends on if this is the higher high and this is the higher low, or if this is the higher high and this is the higher low. So in this case, this will just simply be my higher high, higher low, which means price is now currently bearish, right? 4 hour time frame. Okay, so what if you can catch like a counter trend trade setup on this market? Will it make sense? Okay, let's just look for a counter trend trade setup idea on this market. Let us see. First of all, we already know that weekly is bearish, but we'll use this final take profit target as a support level, right? Just stick with me here. I know it doesn't. I know it's not going to make a lot of sense right now, but this will be our support level, but we at least need 3 rejections from that level. So if I extend it over to the left, we'll take this as our rejection. So we have what? Let me come closer to show you guys. So we have one clear rejection right here. We have another rejection right here. This is the second one, and then the third rejection, which is this one right here. So but the daily and the weekly is bearish. Keep in mind, if these two time frames are bearish, you should be scared, by the way, right? But the final take profit target on this market, if we are buying, will be this high right here, right? So now going over to the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame is actually currently bullish, right? It's actually currently bullish. Why? Because price has been bearish and now it started shifting structure. This is where the market actually shifted structure bullish, right here. So this is now the higher high, this is now the higher low. We had the retracements, 2 dojis and engulfing. We should be in on this level right here. Stop loss below this level, and we're supposed to be in profit right now. But I think this is also better where we have price breaking above the EMA, right? A break and a retracement, not a very solid retracement though, but a retracement to buy all the way to this level. So I don't know. I'm still deciding if to really add this market as a counter trend trade setup for next week or not. Right? Let's go over to the 1 hour time frame to see if we have more market structures. Not so clean of a market structure. This should be where the entry will be, which is this one right here. I don't know. I'll just keep it close. I'll make a decision about it later. GBP JPY. So our next pair. Let us see. Okay, same thing. GBP JPY. Okay, let's see. I don't like the daily. The weekly is clearly bullish. Clearly bullish. Wow, very clear. 4 hour time frame. I don't know why is this market behaving like this. I don't even understand this market. I don't even understand the market. Seriously, I'm not going to be forcing what I don't understand. So next pair, GPP card. Uh, let's see. Let's start with the weekly. Weekly clearly bullish, right? Okay, very bullish. We should be rejecting from these highs. So that will be our area of interest. So let's go over to the daily. It should be clearer on the daily time frame. So as you can see, daily time frame, we have one rejection right here, two rejections going over to the left, three, four, five, six rejections from this area. Market structure is also bullish on the daily time frame. So what makes sense is a retracement back into somewhere around this level to continue buying. So GP card, I think I'm very interested. Let's see how the 4 hour looks. 4 hour time frame, yeah, we still need 4 hour time frame is still bullish, but once it's come back to area of interest, it will be bearish. So we might still wait for the 4 hour to also shift bullish again for us to be interested. So I'm still liking GPP card for this week. It's not bad. GBP CHF, I'm sure that is the next pair. Hmm, I don't like the weekly. Seems like I'm already predicting these buys. Not sure. I don't know. These markets, something is wrong. Shina my eye. Daily time frame is actually bullish. It's weekly time frame bullish. Weekly time frame is actually bearish. 4 hour time frame, nah. I don't like this market. USD JPY, I also don't like it. AUD card, it makes sense that AUD card should be buying to around here. I don't know. I don't know. Something is off. Let's see how the daily looks. AUD card, it looks more like a counter trend trade setup. So we had like a very solid support level. I don't know how do I draw this now. So this will be the support level right here on the daily time frame, right? And this will be a solid resistance level on the daily time frame too as well. So price is pretty much just bouncing from this level to this level and so on, right? Price is currently at the middle, so I don't know. I feel like this market is already gone, right? But price will continue buying until we get to this high right here, right? So let's go to the 4 hour. So the best place to enter this market is when we have a retracement back into around this level to continue buying to this level. So we have like a minor um support level that price could actually buy from, because we've had two rejections from this area, and if I go over to the left, you can see that we also had that rejection right from this area, right? So I don't know, should I really add this market for this week? It's not really the best of the best. So again, I'll make a decision about this one later. It's not as clean. I'm not really going to be forcing a market that's not really clean, right? So what's this? AED. Let's see what we have. Also AED. I don't know, it's not clean. I don't like it. USD CHF daily. Seems like I also predicted it by or what? I don't know. I don't know. 4 hour time frame. Okay, let's analyze USD CHF and see. So weekly time frame is what? Weekly time frame. is bullish, right? We seem to have a black line here, which is a very strong support and resistance level. I remember drawing it, right? And price has rejected from that level already. As you can see, this is one rejection, two rejection, and the third rejection is this one right here. So weekly is bullish, but we have a rejection from that area. 4-hour time frame, daily time frame is also bullish. I'm not going to be doing a counter trend trade on this market because I don't like it, right? So I want to recap on the trades I just finished calling. Not looking like it's the best. Let's see. GPBUSD for a potential counter trend trade setup, right? EURUSD for a sell to the downside. CAD did I call CAD? Okay, CAD for any clean break and retest I see to sell. So I'm bringing this one below. Euro GBP for a retracement back into this area to sell, right? Because that's what makes sense the most. I can't really be selling from here because the area of interest is already way too far, right? So a retracement back into this area to sell will be way more better for me. So that's that for Euro GBP. Then GBP card for a buy. So I like let me rearrange it. I like GBP card the most, followed by Euro USD, right? Then GBP NZD for a counter trend trade setup, Euro GBP, right? Before CAD JPY. So those are the markets I'm paying attention to for next week. Again, just watch the shorter version of this weekly setups. I will be breaking them down in a more clearer way so that you understand what I'm calling, right? So that's pretty much the pairs I'll be paying attention to for this week. I'll see you guys on the shorter version of this weekly setup. So remember to subscribe to the channel, guys. It's absolutely free, and I'll see you guys on the next video.